What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, alongside
Steve Shaw, editorial director at TigerFitness.com.
You know, it's funny. People always ask me where I train, and I tell them where I train. I'm not going to say that yet because that'll blow this whole video before it even starts. But what we did is we compiled, as you'll see on the content site on TigerFitness.com, link down below, the top 3 gyms, corporate gyms, chain gyms in the United States of America. So we're going to explain to you verbally what the top 3 gyms are in the United States of America. Starting with number 3, Steve. Gold's Gym.
I forgot what order. Sorry.
Gold's Gym is number 3. Now here's the reason why Gold's Gym is number 3. One is some are franchise, some are corporate. So there's very little consistency. Corporate's a bit more mainstream. It's like more of like a 24-hour fitness type feel. Whereas some of the gyms are hardcore like Metroflex. So you go to Gold's Gym in Poughkeepsie and a Gold's Gym in North Carolina, and you might get 2 completely different experiences. And we're not judging Gold's Gym by the best. We're judging it as an overall, and consistency is number 1. Number 2 knock against them is their reciprocity of the membership, whereas you only get 15 visits per gym. So let's say if you live at a Gold's over here and a Gold's over here, like literally your house is in the middle, you have to get literally 2 different memberships usually, unless it's, the same owner for both. Some say it can work that out. So the lack of consistency in corporate structure due to their franchise and corporate hybrid model makes it so they are automatically docked from being number 1. Now, what's your experience at Gold's Gym?
What he said. I've traveled like a billion miles these last 4 years, and I've been to Gold's Gyms in Wisconsin. I've been to Gold's Gyms in Louisiana, North Carolina, your old home state, South Carolina.
You went to the Burlington one, didn't you?
Yeah, probably. And they're all different. You just never know what to expect when you're walking in. And, most of them it's a great atmosphere to work out. I enjoy working out at Gold's. But, some of them have like a separate men's workout area and a separate women's workout area. The one up near Appleton or Neenah, Wisconsin that I trained in a lot had like a little area where they set off for the hardcore people, and you just never know what to expect. Some were really great, and some of them, as a hardcore lifter, I almost felt intimidated by walking into a Gold's.
Another issue with Gold's is the hours. Some are 24 hours, some are not. What we're looking at is overall, like let's say I take a trip right now to Minnesota. I know that if there's an LA Fitness nearby, which there will, not LA, but a Gold's Gym nearby, I know that it's going to be consistent to the Gold's Gym I went to somewhere else. I know what I'm going to expect. I can gear up mentally for that workout. And with Gold's Gym, you simply cannot do that. You simply can't. But Gold's Gym, being in the top 3, congratulations, with over 800 locations, 700 locations. Again, it's a great chain, but it's not number 1.
Nope. And number 2, Mark, is
24-hour fitness. And there's a couple things. Not all of the 24-hour fitnesses are 24-hour fitness, but the reason they get Gold's Gym is their membership reciprocity. And while it is a corporate gym, there is still inconsistencies between 24-hour gyms. For example, I went to 2 different 24-hour fitnesses when in Vegas for the Olympia because I refuse to train where everybody else trains because I actually want to work out. I don't want to go and just talk to people. I like to train. So, I went with one with Alyssa and one with Sa, and it was completely different both times. So, at the end of the day, 24-hour fitness, most of them are 24 hours. But I remember one time I was in Florida, I'm like, oh, there's 24-hour fitness. I got up at 2 a.m. and I was going to go there before the airport. Drove there and I was pissed off because it was closed.
Because it wasn't 24-hour fitness.
Which doesn't make sense because their name is 24-hour fitness. So at the end of the day, it still is, the reciprocity's there. Most of them are 24 hours and there is some consistency, but I'll tell you what, 24-hour lacks a lot of consistency.
I've never, I got to be honest, I've never trained at a 24-hour fitness. It's one of the few gyms when I was in Wisconsin, I looked at this gym just as a backup to my home gym. I walked in the gym, but I've never trained at a 24-hour fitness, so I'm not going to say a word.
And it's the largest privately owned gym in the world, just to let you know that. Number 1 is where I personally train. It's where I trained at this morning. It's where I train at when I'm at home in the northwest suburbs known as Elgin, Illinois of Chicago. I train at LA Fitness. And I'm going to tell you, and Steve and I are going to tell you why they're number one. Now, what we were just talking about, if I was to go to LA Fitness, I literally took a picture of LA Fitness here in Mason, Ohio, sent it to my wife, and she was at the gym at the same time in Elgin, Illinois, on Randall Road. Guess what? It was the same gosh darn gym.
Yeah, it looks the same.
I mean, there might be some layout differences. There might be some, there's some signature clubs, which are a little bit different, which if you do use your normal membership will cost $5 extra for that day, but they still dock you the $10 for the normal day pass. So, I mean, they're just consistent. So when I go to LA Fitness here or in Elgin, for me, it's about, I want to know what I'm walking into. Like when I go to Power Station here, I'm ready for the equipment at Power Station. When I go to LA Fitness, I know that for the most part, you know, it's going to be a great situation where I know the equipment and I know what to expect.
The best way I can put LA Fitness is it's like walking into home. I've been to an LA Fitness in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and just about 5 across the southern United States. And every one you walk into is just about the same and has the same feel. It's like walking into home, even though, like Mark said, it's a little bit different. You know what to expect going in. There's no surprises. And it's usually a higher energy environment because there's a lot of people working out there. Everyone I've been into has tons of equipment. It has, tons of cardio equipment.
Usually 3 step mills for the signature. You're looking at 7 to 8 step mills for those of you who like step mill like me for cardio. And there's also childcare, which not all the 24-hour locations or Gold's Gym has. And the childcare is usually, they have great equipment there. They have great little toys for the kids to play with. That's where I put Preston at when we go to the gym with him. I have nothing but good things to say about LA Fitness. So LA Fitness, not only do they get the number 1 spot, they have over 800 clubs, especially after acquiring all the most if not all of the Bally Total Fitnesses. But LA Fitness wins the number 1 spot by nearly a landslide because the other 2 are so incomplete in either reciprocity or in their consistency that LA Fitness, with their cleanliness, their consistency, and their overall maintained equipment. Overall, I mean, you're going to find some bad management in certain regions. There's going to be a one-off bad LA Fitness, but 95%, and I've been to probably over 50 or 60 LA Fitnesses over the last couple of years, are going to be on point and just really, really, really good gyms. And that's number 1.
Yeah, when I'm traveling, if I'm on the road, it's the first gym I look for. It's my personal preference.
I have my membership on my phone and my keychain. So here's a couple things about all 3 of these gyms and why we're going to recommend all 3 of them as an option. Number 1 is you can deadlift, squat, and bench press at all of them. I deadlift, I drop the weights because they're rubber at LA Fitness, and they say, look, as long as no one complains, it's all good. As far as training with people, I've never had an issue. You don't want to go in with a full video crew, but I've never had an issue with if I want to film a set for whatever reason. Of course not to publish on YouTube. I would never do that. If I just want to do it to critique my own form, I've never had issue. Everywhere I go, the staff at LA Fitness is always friendly. I've never had issue with 24-Hour Fitness. Gold's Gym, the issue is the franchise because it's owned by different people. So Gold's Gym, the reason, even though their namesake is so awesome, the reason they have no chance at number 2 or number 1 is because of the inconsistency, which is basically inherent in the fact they run a corporate franchise hybrid model, which I personally don't think is the best way to run a business. You got to choose one or the other. And you see issues with that at GNC and other businesses which try that model. But then you look at like an In-N-Out Burger with an all corporate, and their consistency of quality is across the board. And that's what you got to do. And also a lot of franchisees of Gold's Gym are dropping out because the franchise fee is so high and their name does not have the value that it used to have. So I mean, all of these, you could do the big 3 lifts. You could do some cool stuff. Every LA Fitness I go to, there's always some strong, big dudes lifting. You're going to be amongst your own. And honestly, there's so many of them, and the price is so affordable for what you get. And I want to give a shout out to all my peeps in Elgin at My LA Fitness on Randall Road in South Elgin. Give a shout out to them because they've always been the best to me, and we really appreciate everything that LA Fitness does. But huge fan of LA Fitness, and of course you're going to have bad managers and you're going to have a bad gym here or there. But overall, I mean, 90% of the LA Fitnesses, 24-hour fitnesses, even Gold's Gym you go to, are going to be acceptable. So if you're looking for a gym you can go to that has other gyms, if you travel, these are the ones.
Yep, and Gold's Gym, it's the one I really want to like out of the group because I'm old, and I remember when it was hardcore.
Yeah.
I love the logo, just don't love the gym as much as LA Fitness.
It's because they're trying to mainstream it, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, they're not gold. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, go click on the content site. Basically the same thing we said here, except in writing. But again, click on it. We need the traffic. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Because making LA Fitness your own personal hardcore heaven, just put on them headphones, put on some DMX, because that's not a game.